Okay, our last major project for this school term is going to be our food truck. And so to get started on that, we've asked our food truck
Toya.
of Zachary to come and be present with us. This is Miss Jett, and she owns Street Food Munchies.
Mhm.
You probably have seen her food truck in front of Z Market, the red food truck. She's
Mhm.
going to talk to you about the food truck business. You know, that's one of the newest industries. It's like taking the restaurant to the people versus the people having to come to the restaurant in a way. And so I want you to pay close attention because she's going to give you a lot of good information that will help you with your own project when you get started on it. So let's give her a welcome.
Hello, everyone. As Ms. Watson said, I am Latoya Jett. I am the owner of Street Food Munchies Food Truck. That's located right here on Main, in between City Hall and Z Market. I'm originally from New Orleans, Louisiana, so if I have an accent, then you know why. Okay. Um, I've been down here in Baton Rouge, let me see, by way of Hurricane Katrina. My family and I was displaced after Katrina. We lost everything. We literally only had the clothes on our backs because we were expecting to go back home. Little did we know we had no home to go back to. And so during that process, in New Orleans, growing up in New Orleans is very rich with food, cuisine such as Cajun food, jazz music, arts, and everything like that. And so when we came down here to Baton Rouge, I missed it. I missed home. Um, a lot of the restaurants did not provide that New Orleans style taste of food that I was craving. And so I've always loved to cook, but I never really went into the food industry for as owning a restaurant. And I always thought it was too hard to do, right? I always thought that was for people that just had a lot of money, that was rich and they were just born into money who own restaurants. Not the case. If you put your mind up to it and you put the work behind it, you can accomplish it because I accomplished it. Okay. I started off with a food truck, did my research regarding the food truck, where to purchase the food truck from, how much it cost. And once I found something that was feasible, um, I was able to purchase a food truck. You can actually finance them if you don't have the cash right out. Okay. They do have financing options. They have manufacturers, one in Baton Rouge, on North Terrace Ferry Road. They can actually design your food truck for you based on your style of cooking. If you need a fryer, if you need an oven, if you need a grill, whatever the case may be, they can design that for you. So once I got the plans together and they designed my food truck for me, I had to then start my LLC, come up with my concept of the name of my business. I came up with Street Food Munchies because I'm like, I'm serving food on the street. You know, a lot of people, they want quick bites. So when you think of quick bites, you think of munchies, like you're hungry, you get the munchies, right? You want something quick that you can munch on. So that's why I came up with the concept of street food munchies, okay? And it's based on New Orleans cuisine. So with that being said, I was just coming up with some logo designs, and to be honest with you, I didn't really know what logo I wanted. I just know I wanted something like with the fleur de lis to kind of still have that New Orleans concept. And I outsourced it to a place called Fiverr. Okay. Fiverr does a lot of logos. They can do your website for you. They can do a host of different things for a fraction of the cost. They're overseas. So after choosing the logo through Fiverr, I had to then contact the Louisiana Board of Health to see what were the next steps. In order for you to have a food service, you have to be certified and licensed. Okay, you have to have your food safety permit. That's a course that you take. It's about maybe 8 hours long, and basically it's teaching you about quality of food. the different temperatures you're supposed to keep your hot food at, your cold food at, dealing with seafood, which I do, how you properly maintain the correct temperature for seafood, because the big thing you do not want to happen is somebody to get sick eating from your establishment, right? Especially these days, a lot of people are so happy. So you want to make sure that you're taking this course, and once you complete the course, they're going to give you a certificate. You take that certificate, you go downtown and you apply for what they call a gold seal. That way you're certified from Louisiana. Once you're certified, they would then schedule an inspector. The inspector will come out. She's actually in the Department of the Sanitation. Okay, they come out, they inspect your place, whether it's a food truck or a restaurant, and that's when they give you the green light, or they tell you no, you need to correct this, because you have to have your refrigerations at a certain temperature. She's checking to see if you have hot water, cold water. They're checking to see if you have the right sink compartments. Most of them require a 3 sink compartment, which is for you to wash your dishes, rinse your dishes, and sanitize your dishes. You also supposed to have a employee hand wash sink, because we're constantly cleaning our hands when you're dealing with people food, right? Um, After you get all of your certification, you start your LLC, which you can go downtown to the Secretary of State. And as a matter of fact, I also have a business teaching people how to do their LLCs, how to get their EIN number, which is your tax number for your business. Just like we all have a social security number, your EIN is the social security number for your business. That's how the IRS and all government officials identify your business. You will want to get your business in a LLC. The purpose for that is, for one, to let you know that you are a professional business, and you want to set your business apart from yourself. If somebody wanted to sue you, they cannot sue you as a person, right? But they can go after your business. Anything that you own, your house, your vehicles, any property that you own, it's important for you to get an LLC that protects you as a person versus your business. And the reason why you want to do that is because you're going to get an insurance policy for your business. So if somebody was to, say, for instance, get food poison, or let's say the food is too hot and they get burned or something like that, and they want to try to sue you, guess what? Your business insurance will cover that, and they won't come after your personal belongings. So that's something very important. Um, After you get all of your certifications, your permits, then you're going to post that, because once you post it in your window or your place of business, that lets everybody know that you are legit. If you go to a food truck and they do not have that posted, 9 times out of 10, they operating illegally. Okay, you don't know if this person is clean. Their food might be good, but you don't know what type of sanitation practices that they may use. And it's very important. I always look for that. Anytime I patronize a business, I'm looking to see if they have the proper credentials, because that lets me know, for one, they respect their business, they care about their business, they care about you, and they have the proper professional training to be able to serve you good quality food. Okay. Um, After getting your credentials, after getting your logo and picking out your food truck, then the next thing you want to do, you want to decide on whether you want to have a set location, like how I have right now. I have a set location, but I also do a lot of festivals. Festivals are very, very lucrative. Okay. The food truck business is very lucrative if you have good food that people want. If your food good, they coming. Trust me. They don't care how much it is. They are going to pay for it, especially at festivals. A lot of times people go to festivals knowing I'm about to eat some good food, so they come prepared with a certain amount of money to experience. How many of you been to a festival before? By show of hands. You ever been to the Strawberry Festival? How many of you been to the 225 Fest that we just recently had? You have? You saw how many people was out there? Thousands of people, right? Okay. Street Food Munchies was blessed to be a part of the 225 festival. Our lines was literally wrapped around the corner. I had so many people in my lines, we could not even serve everybody. So this year for the 225 Fest is going to be 2 days instead of just Saturday. They decided to make it Saturday and Sunday. And I'm just going to be honest with you. The first 2 hours of me being in the festival, I made about $6,000 in 2 hours. So you do the math. How much is that in 2 hours? 6,000? That's $3,000 an hour. 3,000 an hour. However, even though it can be lucrative, it also costs. You have your food costs, okay? When you are planning to accommodate a crowd, you may not necessarily know how many people are going to be in attendance, especially at a festival. They, unless it's a prepaid event where they're counting per head, that's how you could kind of gauge. But at a festival of that size, you never know how many people are going to come. So the main thing is you don't want to sell out so fast, because if you sell out too fast, then now you're just sitting there like a bump on the log when you could be making that money, right? But now you got to apologize to people because you're sold out. So the thing for festivals is you always want to have more than not enough. Okay, because you can always, any product that you do not sell, you can always properly store it and resell it the next day, right? So it's best to have more than not enough. Also, you have to decide on your menu. With food trucks, it's like a restaurant on wheels, but it's in small quarters. So you don't want to have so much on your menu and you just have a small confined space, because you have to think about how you're going to store all of this stuff. So I have top sellers on my menu. I have something called the Who Dat Loaded Fries. For seafood lovers, it's packed with sauteed shrimp, sauteed crawfish, andouille sausage. I have nacho cheese, Alfredo sauce, bacon. It's packed 6 different cheeses. I also do a munchie loaded nacho. I do a flatbread. You could do a seafood flatbread, or those that are allergic to shellfish, we have a chicken option for you. We have barbecue ranch fries, and we also do pastas, okay? You want to keep your menu condensed. Everything on my menu, 9 times out of 10, have the same ingredients. The same things that I'm putting on my seafood loaded baked potato is the same items that I'm using on my loaded fries. I'm using on my Who Dat fries and my munchie loaded nachos, right? Because I'm keeping the same ingredients versus having all these different ingredients that I have to keep up with. I'm giving the consumer different options, but for me, the supplier, the same ingredients. It's just business sense. So that's another thing you want to remember, to condense your menu down to maybe your top items, like maybe 3 to 5 items max. Okay. Another thing that I've learned was it's all about location if you're not doing a festival. Okay, a festival, yeah, you're going to make your money if you have good food. But what about when you want to run your food truck and it's not a festival? And this is what you choose to do for a living. You want to be in a proper location to where people are drawn to you, right? So that's why when I was searching for a location, I made sure that I was on a busy strip. I was on a busy avenue where people passing, they can see your food truck. How many of you was just passing and you saw my food truck? Okay, cool. So when you first saw that food truck, you probably was like, I wonder what that is. I wonder what they sell. When do they open? Now you're interested. And if you're greedy like me, I want to stop and see exactly what it is. And I'm also an impulsive buyer. I could have just ate food at home, could have just cooked, but because I see this red shiny food truck and the pictures on that look good, I'm greedy. So I'm going to stop to be nosy. And 9 times out of 10, I'm going to buy something. People are always drawn to bright colors. That's another thing. That's why I have my food truck red versus white, something that can just easily blend in. I want to stand out. So that's another thing you want to consider. You want to stand out. What's going to set your food truck or your business apart from all the other thousands of food trucks and businesses out here? What's so special about you? Okay, yeah, you've eaten fries before, you've had nachos before. Whoop-de-doo, what's the big deal? So you want to create something unique for your nachos, if that's what you choose to sell. You want to create something that will stand you apart from everybody else, especially at a festival. They have multiple food trucks that's going to be at festivals. So how can you stand apart from everybody else? What would allow them to pick your food truck versus all the other food trucks out there? For one, the way you market yourself, how you market yourself, your advertisement. If your food truck look dirty and dingy, 9 times out of 10, I'm not coming by you because I feel like you're going to serve me nasty food or you're not cleansed. You're not a cleanliness person. So that's the first thing. The way you carry yourself. If I see you and your nails are dirty, you don't have on gloves serving food, your shirt dirty, if I look at your face, then you got cat boogers in your eyes and all kind of stuff. Now I'm sick. I don't want to eat no more. So I'm definitely not about to come patronize you, right? So these are certain things that people, the public, look at. Just think about yourself. What turns you off from a restaurant? What deters you from a restaurant? So you have to always put yourself as the consumer when you're trying to open up a business, right? Another thing is, like I said, the presentation, how you present your food. If you present your food in a sloppy manner where it's just thrown on the plate, 9 times out of 10, the food could be delicious. But because of the presentation, we live in a society now where everybody is on social media, right? Back in the day, we didn't have social media like that. It was by word of mouth. But now everybody pulling out their phones, and what they're going to do, oh, I stopped by such and such, and they're going to tag the place. Either they're going to give you a good review or a bad review. And that's the word of mouth right there. So you want to make sure that you are presenting your food in a manner that looks delicious, that's going to draw other people in. They're going to be like, oh, that look good. Where you got that from again? And 9 times out of 10, they're going to tag you. Now, it works both ways. Now, if your food don't look good and it's just thrown all over everywhere, they also going to review that, and our people going to be dragging for your business, right? Now, the thing about it is everybody have different personalities. Everybody taste buds are different. So something that may be delicious to you may not be delicious to you, right? So you cannot appease everybody. You're going to have somebody that's just going to complain. That's okay. You have to accept that. Take all feedback, take all advice, because that helps you mature and it helps you grow in your business, good or bad. I take everything into consideration. If somebody said the wait time was too long, that's another thing. You want to make sure your wait times is down, because the quicker you could get your food out, the faster you could serve the next person to get what? To the money, right? That's the whole point. You want to serve the people with great customer service, great food, but the whole reason why you're in business is to make money, right? So if you're spending so much of time and now you have people that's hungry, they hangry now because they waiting on their food, you're taking a long time, even though the food good, they're probably not going to be willing to come see you again, because they're going to know, dang, I want it, but I'm in a rush. Everybody is in a rush, 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 rush. They may not even have nowhere important to go, but they don't want to sit and wait on their food. So that's another reason why you want to have, when you're choosing your menu, you want to have items that's quick, where you can serve it quick. You want to have your food fresh and hot and ready to serve at all times. People do not like waiting. Now, if it's a situation where you have a long line, I mean, it's only so much you can do. So what you can do is let that person know ahead of time. Excuse me, thank you so much. However, we do have a wait time of at least 15 minutes. Is that okay? So if you tell them that up front, then more than likely they're going to respect that. So now they're anticipating waiting at least 15 minutes and they're not just sitting there complaining. And you're giving them the power to say, okay, yes or no, or I'll come back, right? So that way, it's not on you. You've already made that introduction and told them the expectation of the wait time. All right. Um, Another thing that I've done that my customers love is I have these little beepers. So instead of just being in the window saying, hey, Tyrone, Tyrone, your food ready. Like most food trucks, they calling out the window. I didn't think that was very professional. And then Tyrone may be in his car on his phone, not even paying attention. So now you got a line of people just looking around, looking for Tyrone, and Tyrone is nowhere to be found. So what I decided to do was get beepers. You ever been to a restaurant where they have a wait time and they give you the little buzzers? And when your reservation is ready, it'll beep you and let you know. So that's what I have. They appreciate that. So whether they're in their car or they walked up the street or they got distracted, now I have a buzzer that's going to alert them and let them know, hey, your food is ready. That's another way you can stand apart from all the other food trucks, right? Because you're providing a convenient service to them and it's also professional. All right. Um, how much does it cost to get in the food truck industry? It really depends. I am a bargain shopper. So I'm shopping around for anything that is feasible for me. You can start out with a used food truck or you can start out with a brand new one. It just depends on your budget. You have to accommodate for your logo, how you want your food truck to be displayed. If you're going to get your food item pictures, which I highly recommend that you display your pictures because that gravitates to people. It lets people see exactly or get a glimpse of what they're going to be eating, right? If you just have a plain food truck just with a name, you don't know that name. You don't know who they are. You don't know what they sell. It's probably 9 times out of 10 you're not going to buy from them. But if you see a food truck with all these bright pictures, with all this good looking food on there, 9 times out of 10 you're going to be drawn to them. So that's another thing you want to consider when you're designing your food truck. You want something that's going to gravitate and get people's attention. Okay. Getting back to the budget. So you want to make sure that in your food truck budget, you accommodate for food costs, your fees, such as your licenses and your permits. And also you want to accommodate for the actual supplies, like your paper plates, your utensils, your bags, your cups, your straws, all of that. If you're just starting out, you want to see if you're going to hire somebody or not. You want to make sure you accommodate that for payroll if you're going to have help on busy days when it's really busy or you're doing festivals. Trust me, you're going to need help. Now, if you're just starting out, you may have your family and your friends to help you. Okay, so this is something else that you want to consider. In the first year of having a food truck, I've grossed right at 125K. So anybody that tells you that, if you looked at a food truck and you like, they don't make money, food trucks can make money. Anything in the food industry can make money. In fact, my food truck has been so good, so now we're getting ready to open up a second location inside of the Mall of Louisiana June 1st, okay, inside of the food court. So if you have a passion for cooking and a passion for opening up your food truck, I would highly consider this, because it can be very lucrative. However, it is a lot of work, especially if you're going to be doing it alone, just getting started. You're going to have to grind. And that's with anything in life. If it's your business, it's your baby, you are going to have to grind. You're going to have to get in the mud, and you're going to have to work at it in order for it to be successful. When I first got in this industry, I knew nothing about the restaurant industry. All I knew is I like to cook. I could cook good, and I know people like my food. But I never knew anything about the restaurant industry. But I had to market myself. Nobody knew who I was, right? So from marketing myself, I was on social media 3 times a day, posting on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Okay, a lot of people, you guys are young, you may not be on Facebook, but that's where your aunties at. That's who buys. Okay, so you may want to have a Facebook account when you're representing your business. Constantly post, word of mouth, passing out flyers everywhere you go. That's your business. When you introduce yourself to somebody, let them know what you do. Let them know what you do. Go to networking events. Let them know what it is that you do. Okay. um what else I wanted to say about it? Marketing. And from me marketing, I landed a contract with LSU. So now I'm a LSU caterer. I cater all of the food for all of the football players at LSU, the track players, the coaches. I also cater for BRCC. Now, so it's just different things like that when you put yourself out there and you network with different people, because some of you may be shy and you may not want to talk, but you're going to have an alter ego, okay? You put your shy person away because shy don't make money. Shy don't make money. You ever heard the saying, a closed mouth don't get fed? Well, guess what? You have to present yourself. You have to be that representative. You cannot expect anybody to outbeat you working, especially if it's your business. Nobody is going to cherish and take care of your business the way you will. Okay? So that's about it. Do you guys have any questions for me? No questions? My hours, okay, so my hours right now for the food truck is Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays, and we're open from 11 to 1:30 for lunchtime. We shut down, then we open back up for dinner from 5 to 9 p.m. because we want to catch the lunch people, and we want to catch the people that's hungry coming home that don't feel like cooking. So we want to accommodate everybody. Yes. Oh yeah, come see us. And on weekends, Sundays we're closed, and we're open every other Saturday because, like I said, we still do festivals, and this is festival time. So we do a lot of festivals. Yeah. You have a question? Am I married? Yes, I'm married.
Something truck related.
Yes, I am married, and as a matter of fact, my oldest son graduated from here, Zion Jones. He was a football player from Zachary. He's 23, and I started over. I have a 23-year-old, I have a 4-year-old, and a 3-year-old. Yeah. Any other questions? I'm an open book. Y'all can ask. You don't have to be shy. Y'all look like y'all sleep. He over there sleep. I guess I'm boring. You ain't sleep? Oh, okay.
So did you find it easy to get your family to assist you in the beginning?
Yeah. So in the beginning, my aunt, it was really my aunt and I, but she's out in Jackson, Mississippi, so she wasn't able to do all of the leg work like I was able to do. And so that got cut short real quick, y'all. And I'm gonna tell you, in business, you're gonna have people that say they support you, but don't get discouraged when the support is not there. Okay. So you're gonna have to keep it moving. It can be discouraging at first when you feel like your family and your friends is supposed to support you. You're selling something and then you see them supporting somebody else. You might feel some kind of way, but that's okay. Just keep it moving because your biggest supporters don't have your last name sometimes. You know, they're not going to be your friends sometimes. It's going to be people that don't even know you that's going to support you more than your family and friends. And that's a lesson that I had to learn, you know, and you just have to keep it going. And so now that my business had made a name for itself, guess who you think in my face now? Who you? Where was it? My family, right? Oh, that's my cousin. That's my Nia. Yeah. How they say back then you didn't know me, now I'm hot, you all on me. Exactly. So, but you have to keep going. You have to keep pushing. It's going to be times, and listen, y'all, another thing, it's going to be times in business, any profession that you decide to go in, especially as an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs, it can be lucrative, but it's going to be hard work. It's going to be times where you may not get a sale. And you may be like, I don't know if this for me, this ain't going to work. I have bills. I have stuff I need to do. But then the next day, you may have a lot of sales. It can go up and down. So the days when it's slow, you just have to make sure that when you do have those good days, you plan accordingly. You budget yourself accordingly, right? I remember just starting out, nobody know who I was. I've been in certain events with Empire Wings. I know y'all heard of Empire Wings. Yeah, y'all had, and somebody actually called me for skip days, but they cheated on me and got Empire Wings. That's all right though. But I've been in events with Empire Wings. Also, what was the other? Ballin' Rue. All of these big names, and here I am, my little food truck. Don't nobody know me, so people are normally gonna gravitate to the more popular people, right? Well, once they started tasting my food, guess what? Now I can stop with the best of the best. And regardless of how small you think your business is, nobody else knows that you always supposed to have confidence. Believe in yourself, believe in your business, because people can recognize when you don't believe in your business. If you shy, they'll be like, well, are your food good? And I don't know why people ask that, but believe it or not, people come to me all the time and be like, is it good? And I just be looking at them like, so you really want me to answer that? I'm supposed to say, no, my food nasty. You still want some? Be like, no. You're supposed to say yes. It's delicious, of course. And then you recommend something to them. They may not know. It's their first time there. They don't know what to get. So you recommend your top selling items to them. You have control of that. You direct your consumers, okay? And you always treat them with the utmost respect, because at the end of the day, I don't care how good your product is, I don't care how good your food is. If you have a nasty attitude, they don't care. They're not coming back. And they're going to forget about how good the food is, and they're going to tell everybody about the experience. So that's another thing. In business, you always want to provide outstanding customer service. Even if the food is bad. I went somewhere one time where the food was bland, it was mediocre, but the service was superb. So I was like, you know what? The food was all right, but they were so sweet. I would go back. And then the next, it could have just been an off day. You know, the cook, they could have switched the cook or something like that. Then you go back, you give them another shot. The food was delicious. But had the food been bad and they had a nasty attitude, that would have been a done deal all the way around the board. So always remember that. Represent yourself, and not just yourself, but represent your brand. Because when you have a business, you become a brand now. You can't just pop off like you would normally want to pop off to people, because they're not going to look for your name. They're going to look for your business. Okay? It's a brand that you're representing now. So you have to think on another level. Any other questions?
Did you think it was a big learning curve? You said you just knew how to cook. Did you think it was a big learning curve, learning how to handle the business side of the truck? You got the food side.
Mm-hmm.
What about the business side, the financing, the accounting, and all of this?
Yeah, so I've always been an entrepreneur. This is not my first business. I'm also a licensed professional realtor, and I also own a company called Jett Rentals, where we own and supply car rentals to people on Turo. Okay, I've owned several vending machines, so I've always had the business sense. However, it can become overwhelming when it's you just starting off by yourself. So it's me and my husband. My husband does the financing. He keeps up with the accounting. But if you do not have that, which you guys, I'm sure you guys not married, so you may want to start off doing it yourself. There's different programs out there like QuickBooks that you just plug in your numbers and it can do it for you. Your POS system. I use a POS system called Square. Your POS system, basically, that's just a system that people use to scan their credit cards, you know, how the payments come through your system. We take all major credit cards, we take Cash App, we take Apple Pay. So that's the system that you use to have your menu, your register, and what your consumers can pay with. You don't want to just have Cash App, okay? You want to have multiple avenues for your consumers to pay, because if they don't have Cash App and they don't have cash, because these days a lot of people don't carry cash, they just only have a card. So what? Now you missed out on the sale because you're not properly equipped to take all forms of payment. We want everything you have to offer. We don't want to miss a payment nowhere. So the POS systems, they also provide you an accounting tool option as well. So you can go through that like if you don't know. And it's very user friendly. Good question. Any other questions? And a lot of stuff, one more thing, a lot of stuff you will learn as you go. Don't expect to know everything offhand. I'm still learning. I've only been in business for a little over a year now. And I'm already in the process of opening up a second location. So it's all about what you put into it. That's anything in life. In order for your business to scale, you have to make it scale. You know, you're going to have those days where you don't feel like doing anything, but guess what's going to happen? Nothing from nothing leaves what? Nothing. So if you don't put anything into it, you're not going to get anything out of it. But if you grind and you're really serious and you put your best foot forward, and guess what? Things are going to happen in life. Life is going to life. You're going to have certain things that happen where you get frustrated, you get discouraged, you know. Um, Somebody may pass in your family, or you may have a breakup or whatever. Business still has to go on. It still has to go on. That business still has to operate at the end of the day, because other people don't know your personal situation, and nor do they care. I'm going to just be frank with you. They don't care, but your business still has to go on. So always remember that. Okay? Anything else? All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
On behalf of
Oh,
the CTE program and Quest for Success, thank you so much, Ms. Jett, for coming and being
thank
with the Zachary High
you.
Broncos. We're standing on business.
Yes, stand on
Thank you.
business.
Standing on business. All right.
I
So thank you for
appreciate it.
sharing about the food truck, and we're going to show you some food trucks that they create.
Good.
in
I'm
just a bit.
excited.
So we'll send you that information.
I'm excited. How many of you actually want to do a food truck?
We have one person considering it.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. It's good.
So thank you for being with
Okay.
us. We
Thank you.
appreciate
I
you so
appreciate
much.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And thank you to the media.